So hello friends, again I am in the Dbmci studio and today I am honored to present Dr. Aman Priy, who has got rank 18 in JIPMER 2019. He's another inspirational model to all of us, from getting rank 3800 to a two-digit rank in JIPMER 2019. Heartiest congratulations,
Thank you,
Doctor.
sir. Thank you, sir.
So again, he was a test and discussion student of Dbmci Delhi. And Doctor, we'll all like to know how you started your preparation, what was your basic strategy. Okay, so guide your juniors how they can also achieve what they've always dreamt of.
Sir, yeah. I joined the fast track TND in January, and in last in the NEET exam, and before that the November session exam, I got in AIMS I got 600 rank, and NEET I got 3800 rank. So I wanted to do even better. So I joined the TND classes, and I tried to follow the schedule of the TND through and through. I I thought that initially I thought that I'll make my own schedule, but then I decided that I'll follow the TND schedule. So, for example, if I had a packed test 2 days after, so I decided that whatever happens, I'll finish that portion in 2 days. If I'm not able to, I'll leave that. I'll come back to that later. Otherwise, I realized that otherwise the next subject would have suffered, and the next one and the next one. So I tried to follow that as much as possible. I used to go to the TND after reading my notes and the books and after solving the questions. After that, I used to give the test here in the morning, and after that, I used to make the notes. After coming back from the test, I used to read the notes very fast because I had to prepare for the next test also. And then after 2 months before the exam, from March onwards, I decided that I'll divide my time in a day for at least 3 to 4 subjects. So for the upcoming test, I was reading slowly, not very slowly, but slowly and seriously. And for the other subjects, like subjects which were covered earlier, I decided that I'll read them fast. So I used to give 2 hours for each of the subjects, and used to read the notes very fast. Like I had marked certain portion in the pages which I knew that which were kind of volatile. So that's what I did. And about 1 month before the exam, I started solving the questions. I had done them earlier, but I wanted to grasp them as better as possible. So I did that, and uh, around 2 weeks before the exam, I started bombarding the Dbmci Premier group with a lot of questions which were kind of controversial, especially in JIPMER, and some questions in PGI. So I used to post around 7-8 questions per day. I thought that whatever happens, I'll keep on doing that because
I hope they were all answered.
yeah, they were all answered. They were mostly answered within a duration of 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, so that was very helpful. And I think that the second week of March, I attended the Vibe session. That was very helpful, and especially in the AIMS exam, a lot of questions came directly from the Vibe booklet. And 2 or 3 days before the AIMS exam, I read the whole Vibe booklet. So that was very helpful. That's what I did basically. Yeah. Thanks.
So basically, talking about the Dbmci Premier Group only, I always tell all the students that I interact with that many times when you have a controversial question or when you have a doubt, you prefer to go to a senior or a friend. See, it's not their duty to go research a question and then answer you properly. But it's us.
Yes, sir.
You have paid us, you have trusted us. I always believe that there should be a doubt portal where the person answering the question should be totally responsible for every single word written in that answer.
Yes, sir.
So that's what the Dbmci Premier Group does. It goes back, we go back, we research the question and the controversies that you put on that part. I mean, we need to put the student mind in a relaxation mode.
Yeah.
That okay, my doubt is solved and I can move ahead.
Yeah.
So that team, our academic team, does that thing.
Yeah.
We research the question, we research the answer with a proper reference and an explanation, so that after the answer, the student's mind should be put at ease.
Yeah.
That I have a clear concept now and I can move ahead. It should not become an obstacle. The controversy should not become an obstacle. That's what I believe.
Yeah. Otherwise, it becomes a time waster.
It becomes like a ringworm.
Yeah.
It keeps ringing on your keeps ringing in your mind, and you can't, you can't move forward.
Yeah.
That kind of thing always bothers a studious person, a studious student. It bothers them.
Yeah.
So let's, together as the academic team and the student, let's together break that persona, answer that question in the most perfect manner so that the student's mind, again, I'm repeating this, is put at ease.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the question bank, because you were earlier telling me that you answered a lot of questions to, properly implement the knowledge.
Yeah.
So how was the question bank, and how many times did you revise your notes before attempting the test?
The question bank was very helpful, and regarding I before the exams I also solved the there were a lot of tests put up on the Dbmci app. Some papers were from the 2019 session, which were like new tests kept on coming, and 2018 had a lot of tests. So I solved around three or four papers of AIMS, 2-3 of PGI, and 3-4 of JIPMER, and I saw the answers very fast, as fast as possible, and I used to I mainly utilized the question paper from the TND notes, since there wasn't a lot of time left, like there were 2-3 months only. So I decided that I would rather read the notes again and again rather than focusing on a lot of questions, because if you know the concepts well, you will be able to solve most of the questions, which are the very basics, which basically gets you selected. Uh, Questions I did, I think in the last 2 months, I devoted around 60 to 70% of the time in reading notes, especially in the last 2 weeks. I tried to finish all the old papers around 1 week or 2 weeks before the exams. And last week I totally read the notes, TND notes, and the old notes again and again and again. So certain things were on my fingertips, and from the old papers specifically, I made a list that okay, JIPMER tends to ask these types of questions, specifically AIMS these types and PGI these types, and then I in the last 1 or 2 weeks I used to open the notes and match, okay, this topic I need to read very fast, and other topics I can ignore because I trusted myself that that will come back to my mind during the exam. Yeah.
See, the basic thing that Bhatia notes, I believe, we always focus on concept.
Yeah.
So one thing that I actually want you to pass to all the students who are watching the video is that the importance of revising the DBMC notes again and again.
Yeah.
So once you keep revising the notes, and only after revising your notes like a couple or triple times, you should go and look at an outside book.
Yeah.
Many times students, before revising the notes, start opening the external books, external sources, and they again get confused. Okay, so what I want is that the student should revise the notes. Whether I'm not saying that only our notes. If you have joined any other institute, even then, you should trust the institute.
Yeah.
Revise those notes again and again, because the faculties have put a lot of dedication in making those notes for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
so they revise their content, they update their content. Okay, many a time the external books, they have not updated material.
Yeah. They are.
Of course.
Most of them are old.
See, of course, the baat hai ki that if a book is published in December, it will not have the May AIMS or PGI or
The new
JIPMER
updates and all. Yeah.
as simple as that. But your faculty is teaching you after these exams, he or she will automatically have it.
It keeps on coming on the Facebook group for exam.
Because we have a proper protocol of that after every exam we take out all the questions, we take out all the updates, and we send to faculties and they put it in there. Otherwise the faculties, again, they do their own hard work, they put the new updates in their content, so that after the May Central Institute exams, automatically every faculty is updated.
Yeah.
Now that is very important, because these kind of updates have a high chances of being repeated in the November AIMS, November and NEET exam.
Yeah.
Okay, so the student should keep revising his or her notes as much time as possible.
Definitely.
Learn the new updates in the Premier group. because I know many a times your class of that particular faculty has already gone if you have joined in April or March.
Yeah.
So that all the updates will put in the Premier group so that every student of DBMC should be updated with every latest thing. Okay. So what subjects did you find good with us?
First of all, I would like to say that anat was my definitely my weakest point. So I like the anatomy classes the best. Sir used to Ashwini sir. I would like to thank him personally. Uh, uh, he used to teach the subject in a very schematic and diagrammatic manner. So before the one day before the AIMS exam and the JIPMER exam, I just opened in his notes and he had made us draw a lot of diagrams. So I just saw the diagram. Okay, this is the relationship of this structure compared to other structures, and that's all. I had a mental picture that and that mental picture of the structures for anatomy, and that really helped me. Otherwise, what happens is that if you read mostly for anatomy, if you read it, if you read the theory, it's so volatile. It was very volatile for me. So initially, I was very struggling with that. But after the classes, I was pretty confident in whatever happens, I would be able to solve around, at least even if the paper is tough, I would be able to solve around 60 to 70% of the questions. Then I really like the pharmacology class, Saurabh Bhatia sir's class. Uh, he made us write. He specifically taught us for the central institutes. So he made us write what topics were the highest yielding, and what topics we should read 1 week before the exam. Like you cannot. It's entirely impossible. Impossible to cover everything 1 or 2 weeks before the exam. You should. One has to trust their own memory that it will come back during the exam. So I did that, and I really like the surgery class. J.R. sir's class, he made us, for example, he write a lot of flow charts, and I remember certain questions, certain flow charts I read before entering the exam hall, and it came in the exam. So I actually started giggling inside the exam that thank God I read this just before, otherwise I would have suffered. Bhatia sir's class I liked a lot. Certain things I was very in medicine. Certain things I was very confused about. For example, acid base and disorders and all. He made it very simple, and then 1 week before the exam, I did not even read the detailed notes. I thought I would, but then I realized that there isn't so much time to focus on the whole thing. So I just read his TND notes very as fast as possible, and that was that. So I would like to thank him. Nilesh sir's class, yeah, his one class was very helpful, and he gave us a booklet so regarding the various disorders and all, and that was very helpful for the central institutes. He had told in the classes that these questions uh, like certain things were specifically important for PGI, for JIPMER and AIMS, and you have to focus on the whole thing for NEET. Yeah, so I'm thankful for that.
No, I'm great. Actually, you have put a lot of guidance to our students over here. And let me tell you guys that Dr. Saab over here wants to take pediatrics. And I believe that still, as he's in MBBS from JIPMER itself, so he will be really happy in JIPMER. And I believe that on this rank, he will be getting pediatrics very, very easily. And again, let's all of us, on behalf of DBMC family, let's all of us together wish him best of luck again for all the future endeavors. And I still believe personally that he will be one of the finest pediatricians in the country.
Thank you.
Okay, so DBMC again wants to congratulate you. You have done an amazing thing, amazing feat, and may God bless you with every happiness.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for listening.